and go to process and create a new process, variables data types. Okay, then this is a demo of variables and data types. Then click on create. Okay, now click on this open main workflow, and here go to project panel. So the project name is variables and data types, and dependency, these are the default dependency. We have a default folders and the main XAML file with us. Now I'm going to create a new sequence. First, what is variables? Okay, let's say or else I will go with the best practice method. Just right click on this and go to add and click on folder, and here you can create a variable. Okay, I will name it as a folder name, variables. Okay, then click on OK. There is a one folder created. Here I'm right click on this, then I'm going to add. There is, you can see sequence flowchart, or else you can go here and you can create it here. I'm going to I'm going to create it here sequence. Let's say first I need to understand what is variable. Okay, what is variables? Okay, so you can, while you creating a name, you can add a space, but it's a better you can follow this method. Okay, so in between words you can use the capital letter to identify the name. What is variables? Okay, I created. So immediately you can expect this sequence automatically, and you can see that what is variables. I will just drag and drop this sequence into this variable folder, because this particular sequence is related to this folder. Okay, so now I need to understand what is variable, right? So because I'm not going to do anything here, but just I'm giving the instructions. So just go to annotation. So right click on this, go to annotations and click on this annotation, add annotation F2, and you will get this window. So here I tell you that variable is a container to store. It's a container to store values. Okay, this is a very simple term. Okay, and what is the next point? And we can store any kind of data, correct? We can store any kind of data, right? That is all about variables. So what are the key elements available? So there are three key elements. One is a variable name, and the other one is values and data types. Okay, so these are the three important keys while you creating the variables. Okay, so now you are clearly understand what is variables. A variable is nothing but it's a container to store a values, and we can store any kind of data into a variable. And so let's say if I go to activity panel, if I drag here, and this is the activity. So here if I want to store a employee name, let's say employee name, like let's say Rajesh. Okay, then go to this place. I have a value, but I want to store the because I have a value here. If I want to store this value into a container, I need a container, right? Just create a container. Let's say go to variable panel, create a container like emp name. Okay, the variable type is string. You can see here lot of options, string, integer and everything, but let me go it string. Okay, then go here and just type emp, and you will get your variable list here. Just select it. Now this assign name should be emp name, because this is the assign activity we are using to store the employee name. Here this is the value, Rajesh is a value, and here the employee name, this is the container. We are storing this value into this container, and this particular container data type is what? String. Okay, so those are the three key elements. I will cover the later what is string variable, what is integer, everything. As of now, you understand what is value, what is a variable, and what is data type. Okay, now you are clear about what is variables. Okay, then how to manage these variables, how to create variables. Okay, everything we have to see, right? So just go here and create a new sequence. So before we created from here, and we have other options, right? We created here and we moved this particular sequence from outside to this folder. Just now we will approach the other method. Just go to right click this variable folder and go to add, go to sequence. So now what we are going to learn, variable, how to manage variables. Okay, then I'm going to give a name as managing variables. So managing variables, just create it. Okay, then you have a managing variables sequence, and which is available under variable panels. How to manage your variables, right? So we know what is variable, and now we want to learn how to create variables. Okay, there are different way to create a variables. Okay, the first option is we can create your variable from here. There is an option, there is a panel, data manager. Okay, so through this data manager you can create a variable. Just go on, click on new variables and click on new variable. Okay, and here you need to create your variable name. Let's say employee name. I want to store employee name. Employee name. Then the employee name, the value should be value always in the string. Then I selected string. Okay, now you created. Now go to variable panel. Here the employee name is available. Okay, because we created a variable through this data manager. Okay, and the other method is through the activity panel. Okay, so let's say activity, I drag and drop an activity, and I can create a variable in other method from this activity. Okay, go to here in the activity panel, just press Ctrl K. Okay, let's say this activity I'm using to I'm going to use to store employee age. Then I say emp age. Okay, then enter. Ctrl K, give your name, variable name, then enter. Okay, then immediately your variable will be appear in the variable panel. So here I am going to store number. Okay, age is a number. Then I am going to select integer. Okay, integer in the sense I am going to store a number. Okay, then go here and add a 30. Okay, now there is gone. So we created the first option, we created through the data manager, and other option is we created the variable through this activity panel. And the third option is drag and drop activity and go to property panel, select that particular activity, and go to set to variable, and click here and press Ctrl K. Let's say this is I'm going to use for employee department, emp dept department, enter, and now go and look at the variable panel, and here you see employee department is created. Now you can pass your value. Let's say HR department, he is from HR department. I want to store this HR, and this is I want to make it as a emp dept, and here I can make it as an activity for to store emp age. That's it, very simple. Okay, so we have seen through data manager and through activity and through property panel Okay, so through activity in the sense that we can call it as a expression editor. Okay, so you can create it here also. Okay, pressing Ctrl K, or else you can go here and Ctrl K. Both are same only. Okay, through the expression window. Okay, and the other option is we can create a variable in the variable panel itself. Let's say here I am going to name it as employee experience. Employee experience, that is also I can say integer, and so I created a variable, so I'm going to utilize that particular variable and drag and drop and just type the first letter of the variable. You will get here all the list down, so you can select it, or else just go here and click this plus symbol and go to this variable, and you will see all your variables list here, and choose whatever variable you want. So here I need this employee experience, and the employee experience must be in the integer format. Here yes, it is integer. Just give it is integer, so 10 years. Okay, that's done. So this is how we need to create our variables. So let me recap. One is from data manager, okay, and other one is from activity through the activity expression window, and other thing is through this property panel, and other one, the last one, is we can create our variables through the variable panel. So you can choose whatever you are convenient. Somebody is you can create a variable immediately after drag and drop this, you can create it here. Somebody is they are in the property panel, so they can create it here. Somebody is there in the variable panel, they can create it here. So wherever you are comfortable, you can create it. That's based on the situation. Okay, but all are same to create a variable. Okay, so now you are aware of how to creating a variable, so you can choose either one. Okay, and that's it. And the other thing is, if after creating a variable, if I want to remove that particular variable because I don't want that particular variable, then how should I remove? Just go here, right click on it, and there is an option called delete. If you click delete, then immediately that variable will be removed from this variable panel. And also, if you are using any particular variable here, let's say here the employee age I'm using here. If I right click, if I delete, then it will be error. What is the error? Because you always make sure that you should learn error, you should avoid error based on the error message. So here you see employee age is not declared. The error is employee age is not declared, which means there is no variable name to store this value. Then I'm going to create it again. So here, go here and remove it, Control K, and then enter. Employee age is available. Still it's now throwing an error. Now let's read the error. And what is the error? Option strict on disallows implicit conversion from integer to string. You are given the option value as an integer, but your variable you created, it is in a string. Then go here in this variable type and change it as an integer. That's it. You read the error and just change it and clear it. Okay, so employee age is 32 into 32 because it's a UiPath community edition, right? Sometime you may expect this error, but it will go off. Maybe it will go off like this, or it will be like this. Employee age, if you added 30, yeah, now it's gone. It will take some time to reload it. Okay, so that's how you can remove your variables. Okay, so let's say you have created, then next I don't want to delete variables like this, right clicking, deleting it. Okay, let's say you have created a number of variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, and a lot of variables, but you don't know, it's very difficult to identify what are the variables I am really used in this workflow and what are the variables I didn't use it. I don't want to extra variables, it's sitting in my variable panel. I just know I want to remove it from the variable panel. What should I do? Just here, look at I used employee age. That's fine. I used employee department. That's fine. Experience I used. These are the variables I used, which is in the active mode. There are other couple of variables, one variable, so these are the inactive. I don't want to see the extra variables in my variable panel. How should I remove that without deleting one by one like this? Okay, there is an option called remove unused on the designer panel. Go here and click on this remove unused and click on variables. Okay, because here you want to clear the variable only. Okay, and we have other options also, workflows. We can remove unused workflows. How we can identify unused workflows? If you are not invoked in this main workflow, that all should be removed. Okay, do not touch it until you invoke all those workflows. Okay, and anyhow it will give you an note before you remove. Just click on variables, because I'm going to remove variables, then click on details. It says, hey, there are 3 variables which you are not used in this workflow. Can I remove it? Variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. If you are okay with removing, yes, just remove it. Click OK and go. All the variables, unused variables removed. Go to variable panel. You see, nothing is here. So here you have a question. Why should I remove? Hey, leave it as it is. It's none of my business. Why should I remove variables also? Because if you are keeping unwanted variables in the variable panel or workflow, that's not fair. That's not the correct best practice method to publish your project. Okay. Anyhow, you can publish your project, but think that you want to serve the clean and efficiency effective bot. Okay, so then you should remove unwanted everything. Okay, let's say you are going to um, you are going to create some product. So only in that particular product only you will keep whatever required, right? So if you are going to order a mobile, and what you will receive in the package, mobile charger and other extra few guidelines, right? These are the mandatory needed one to that particular package. So can I include some sweets or something is not related to that particular product? No, right? So that's how your project should be clean and perfect before you publish it. Okay, so only use the variables whatever you are using in this workflow. Okay, so that is all about removing unused variables. Okay, and and so we have seen how to create variables and how to remove variables and how to remove unused variables and all. And the other thing is there is a one more option that is a browser for type. So I will cover it while I'm using the string and integer and other system data table variables. Okay, now we are clear about how to managing variables. Okay, and so next we are moving into variable panel. So because in the variable panel there are a lot of options available. If you right click, convert to argument, copy, delete. Delete we have covered. Design properties, find reference, which we are going to cover it in a different session. Okay.